Hello and welcome to another one of my quick videos. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of salmon on a nice fresh spring salad. Okay, so just a lot of ingredients but really simple to make, and it should only take you half an hour at the most. Okay, so a little bit of prep. I've kind of chefed it up a wee bit just to make it a bit more interesting for myself and for you. These are the ingredients for the salad. We've got a little bit of couscous. What you could do is use ebly, which is the best way to describe it is like a large sugar puff. You can get it down in the local shop down here, Sunrise. If you go in and buy it in there, or what you can do is you can buy it online, and it's fantastic, really healthy. But today I'm just going to use couscous, keep it nice and simple. We've got chickpeas, some normal peas, we've got some pomegranate, very finely diced red onion. I've got a lemon, some toasted pine nuts, slightly over toasted, sun-dried tomatoes, and some feta cheese here. I'm also going to add some spinach and mix that through it as well. And over here we've got the salmon. So what I'll do is I'll start with the salmon first of all. You can see here that I've kind of wrapped it up in a little cylinder. It's just to make it a nice, a nice shape. If you're in a restaurant, that's what I would do, just to make it a nice shape so that it sits in the plate. It looks really pretty. You don't have to do that. You can just use a bit of salmon and then just put the coating on the top. So you can use a wee bit of a supreme of salmon and then just put the coating on the top of that. So what I done was I got a bit of the salmon when it was raw, wrapped it up really tight so that it became a nice cylinder shape. I put it into my pot. I got a kettle of boiling water, poured it onto the salmon until it was covered, and then just let it sit. Okay, so I didn't put any gas underneath it, I didn't boil it or anything like that. I just boiled the water and put it onto it and left it in the water until the water cooled down, and then just took it out and put it in the fridge. And what this does was it just kind of gently cooked the outside but not cooking too much in the inside, so it leaves it a little bit pink or a little bit raw in the middle. Okay, normally I would use my water bath, but I just assumed that not everybody's got a water bath, so this is another way to do it. And you can see it's quite pliable and ready just to put the crust on top of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off the cling film and just get rid of that, and then just take the salmon from the cling film like so. It should come out easy enough. And just take it out. Okay, up. Just be nice and gentle with it. Okay, and that is it. So I'm going to dry it off a wee bit. Just take off the excess moisture. So you can see it's kind of broke a wee bit, but if you look on the inside, you can see how nice and pink that is. So it's not cooked the whole way through. So what I'm going to do is just put on the cream cheese. So this is cream cheese mixed with some garlic, a little bit of dill through it, a little bit of cream just to loosen it up, and then I'm just going to smooth that on the top. So just smooth that right around, like that, all the way around. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. And just make sure it's all coated on the top. There. And then I'll just set that gently back on the tray. And in here I've got some breadcrumbs. I'm going to grate some more Parmesan cheese into it. And just grate that in. And then I'm going to add some paprika. Just a little bit of paprika in there, and then some nice lemon rind. and just a little bit of that, just to give it a wee bit of a zing. Nice lemon, not too much. And then mix that together. So mix it all up. And then what I'm going to do is just gently lift my broken salmon and just roll it in the crust, in the breadcrumbs, like so. Sometimes what I do when putting on the cream cheese is use a pastry brush and just paint it on, and then maybe get it right the whole way around. But for this, you just need it round one side. Then I'm going to set it onto my tray and put it into quite a high oven, 180. So you see that looks quite nice. So I'm going to put that in the oven, 180 for about 20 minutes. And what you're doing is you're just browning the outside, the crust, okay, just browning it up. So I've got that, take this out of the way, I'll keep my lemon, there's a bit there, I'll keep this out of the way, and have a quick tidy up. So, and now I'm going to just chiffonade these. So it's really just shredding it. Okay, so we just roll it up and then just shred the spinach. Shred that up. So that's it. So I've got my bowl, and then just basically just adding all the ingredients into your bowl and mixing it up. Before I do that, I'm just going to make a quick dressing, and all it is olive oil. I tend not to use olive oil because I think it's a wee bit harsh, so I use this rapeseed oil, okay, from Perth. Beautiful, nice and smooth, beautiful colour as well. Just put that into there, and then I'm going to squeeze some lemon juice into it, trusty little lemon squeezer, and just cut it in half, squeeze it. The other one. So you've got your lemon juice and just pour that into the oil. Some people put mustard and all that kind of things into it. I just use this. I'll put that in. Now I've got my little whisk. Just give that a whisk until it's all combined. So you see it's a nice colour, and that is it. Ready? So I'm going to put a couple of spoonfuls of my couscous in. So you want near enough equal quantities, okay? So I've got this nice couscous, put it in. You know, use that quinoa, if I haven't pronounced that right. So a lot of people pronounce it different ways, but you can also use that and get all these kind of things in your health shop. Sunrise. And I'm going to put half the chickpeas in. So this is a really fresh spring, summer salad, nice and healthy. Lovely peas, garden peas, nice and fresh. And diced onions, put them in. Yep, I like onions. I love these pomegranates, really fresh, nice. Love pomegranates. Them in. Then we've got our pine nuts, and the sun-dried tomatoes. I quite like them, so I'm going to put them all in. That, and then just mix it all together. You can see how fresh that is, yeah? Lovely, beautiful, fresh. Nice colours. Beautiful. And a wee bit of the dressing, just not too much, just to kind of bind it all together. And then we're going to put in our spinach, so, and then mix that in. And that is our salad ready, and the salmon is now nicely browned and crispy on the top. So I've got the salmon ready, so I'm just going to assemble the whole lot together. This here is a bit of salmon skin. I got a new hydrator, so I just thought I'd have a wee play and see how it turned out. We'll see how it looks. If so, I'll use it. If not, I'll just know I can do it. So that's that. I've got in here for garnish, I've got the stems from the beetroot. I've made a little bit of blackcurrant and beetroot gel, which I'm going to use to garnish the plate as well. And I just had a play about with the stems as well. It's just like celery, except it's red. And that's the stems of the beetroot. And I've got a wee bit of watercress I'm going to use, and some basil over there as well. And then I've got some feta cheese, which I'm going to mix through the salad. So just put that in last minute, because you don't want it to start melting and going through, and it just looks a bit of a mess, rather than just being nice pieces of feta cheese through your salad. It ends up going a bit creamy, so we just put it in near the end, and then that would stop that, and we've got give that a wee mix together. So what I'm going to attempt to do is to make it a bit chefy. Okay, I've got a little plate here, which is quite cute. I always try and use these any opportunity I get. They look quite nice. I've only got 4 of them, but they look fantastic. I don't know if they're antiques or anything. I got given them, so I just use them whenever I can. So anyway, I'm just going to put this into here, and then just kind of fill it up halfway. Of course, you can use round moulds or whatever shape you've got. But I want to try and keep it, the nice shape of the salmon. But we'll see how this turns out. It could be a complete disaster. That's why I've got the back up here. And we'll just put that in. Then I'll use my little teaspoon just to make sure it's all nice and tight. It just doesn't fall apart when I attempt to pull the ring off. So push that down. And then here we go. So keep your fingers crossed. Let's hope this works. And then we'll just push it out. So, and hopefully it'll stay together. Yep, so it looks pretty neat. Chefy. Stirring it up. You can see all my plate is all finger marks. Normally, if it was in the restaurant, or if I had my posh neighbours in for something to eat, I would polish the plates up with cling film around the sides, so as my thumbs weren't on the plates. But there's no posh neighbours coming in today, so it's just you and me. And then I'm just going to set this on top, so it's still quite hot. You can do this and serve it cold as well. And then we just set that on the top. It looks pretty cool. And then I'll get my beetroot and blackcurrant gel, which I made years ago, back in the 70s. We used to do, I don't know if anybody remembers, used to do salads, and you'd have a salad buffet, and you'd grate beetroot, and then you would mix it with blackcurrant jelly, and then you would serve this big lump of jelly as part of a salad. Well, this is kind of a take on that, except I've made it into a kind of gel. I'm going to hopefully, if it works, garnish my plate with it, and then just do little things. It looks quite trendy. Do that, another big one there, and maybe a couple of wee tiny ones. Just to do it up and garnish it and make it So in the restaurant, probably charge about 30 quid for that. And then just garnish that up, like so. That's it, it's quite tasty, quite sweet. And then I've got my little bits of watercress, I'll just put that on. I've got some apple blossom and things like that outside, but they're just a wee bit overshot. You could use them and you get a nice kind of apple flavour of them. I was going to use them, but when I went out this morning, they were just too mature. You want them just whenever they're just about to open up and they're quite crunchy, and then you use them as a garnish and they're fantastic. So if you've got an apple tree in your garden, get the blossom before it completely opens up. And then I'll try this, see what it looks like. This little bit of beetroot stem. Put that in there just to make it look nice. You can get it. Yeah, that looks pretty good on there. The skin, I'm not going to use that. I guess it's got enough on it. I'll just keep that to one side. And then you can maybe put some of the dressing around it as well. So that's pretty much it. So hopefully I explained that quite well for you. I'll just put some of this on here onto my nice fancy plate since I've got it out. And there you go. So you just do it like that. You just have this salad on its own and just have it as a nice healthy salad with a bit of cheese, things like that. Maybe wee bits of smoked chicken through it, you know, things like that. It's quite a nice salad, nice and fresh. So you might as well use the basil since I've got it. Got a bit of basil on there as well. And then maybe a couple of spots of this. Just jazz it up a wee bit. Go. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you have a wee try at that. And that's nice, fresh spring summer salmon with a parmesan crust on the top with a wee bit of breadcrumbs, cream cheese, and garlic, and then you've got the salad there. Okay, thank you.